Welcome back. So today we're diving into a really fascinating and honestly a kind of trippy idea. What if the reality you see, the world you experience every single day, isn't the real thing? What if it's actually a carefully constructed illusion built by your own mind? All right, let's just get right to it. I'm going to ask you a pretty blunt question, and I want you to really sit with it for a second. Is your brain lying to you? Because, a whole lot of new science is pointing to the answer being, yeah, probably. To see what I mean, just picture this. You're looking at the inside of a hollow face mask. The concave part that's curved inwards. Logically, you should see a hollow shape, but for almost everyone, the brain just refuses to see that. Instead, it literally overwrites reality and shows you a normal face, pushing out. It's showing you what it expects to see, not what's actually in front of your eyes. And look, this isn't just some fun party trick. This is a glitch, a little peek under the hood of your brain's operating system. It's a clue to how the most powerful, most complex system in the entire universe actually works. We call this whole thing the Level 4 illusion. It's this built-in preference your brain has for a simple, comfortable lie over a complicated, surprising truth. So in this explainer, we're going to pull it apart piece by piece and basically hand you the master control button to start rewiring it. So how in the world does this even happen? Well, to understand the illusion, we've got to look at the machine that's creating it, which brings us to your predictive brain. The big scientific idea here is something called predictive processing, and the core of it is this. Your brain isn't a passive camera just recording the world. Nope, it's an active simulator. It's using every bit of data it's ever collected, your whole life's experience, to constantly guess to predict what's about to happen. The old idea was super simple, right? Our eyes are cameras, our ears are microphones, and the brain just records it all. But we now know that's just not true. It's so much more active than that. Your brain is building a simulation of the world, and what you perceive as reality, well, that's the simulation. And why does it bother doing all this? It really comes down to one thing: energy efficiency. Your brain's #1 job is to keep you alive using as little energy as possible. And it does this by trying to minimize prediction errors, that little jolt of surprise when what you sense doesn't match what you expected. The better it predicts, the less energy it has to burn figuring stuff out. And this simulation isn't just some abstract idea. It has real physical power. I mean, check this out. In one study, people watched a hammer swing toward their hand but stop right before it hit, and they still felt real physical pain. Their brain predicted the impact so powerfully that it just created the sensation. This is the exact same thing behind the placebo effect. The brain's prediction that a sugar pill will work can cause actual, measurable changes in your body. It's wild. Okay, so if the brain is a simulator, what's the master program it's running? This brings us to the software that's calling most of the shots, the identity loop. Now, when we talk about identity from a neuroscience point of view, we're not getting all philosophical. It's a biological tool. It's the brain's master operating system, a collection of beliefs about who you are that's designed to make life run on autopilot and, you guessed it, save energy. And this program runs as a self-reinforcing loop. It all starts with a core belief, an identity tag like "I'm shy." That belief creates a prediction. This party is going to be awkward. That prediction then drives your autopilot behavior. You go to the party, stand in the corner, don't talk to anyone. And what's the result? You go home thinking, "See, I knew it. I really am shy." And just like that, the loop is complete and the belief gets stronger. You're trapped. So, here's the billion-dollar question. How do we escape these traps? How do we break the illusion? The answer is, we have to upgrade our thinking. We've got to stop acting like a character stuck in the simulation and start acting like the programmer. We need to learn to think like a scientist. And the tool for this is something called Bayesian thinking. It's basically a mental framework where you treat your beliefs, especially those really strong identity beliefs, not as facts written in stone. You treat them as what they really are: hypotheses. They're just theories based on old data. And every good scientist knows you have to test your theories. So here's what that shift looks like in real life. A fixed, level 4 belief is just a statement, "I am bad at math." It's a done deal. But a Bayesian or level 5 mindset reframes it completely. It becomes, "My current theory is that I'm bad at math." Okay, interesting. Let me go run a few experiments and gather some new data. See the difference? It opens the door for things to change. You see this mindset in top performers all the time. Think about someone like Elon Musk. He almost never speaks in absolute certainties. He's always talking about maximizing the probability of success. He's constantly running experiments, gathering data, and updating his mental models based on what actually works, not on some fixed idea of who he is.
Okay, so that's all the theory. But how do you actually do this? Let's break it down into a super practical action plan you can literally start using today.
The method is actually beautifully simple. We call it the identity journal. Here's how it works. Step 1, state it. Just write down the new identity you want to build. Step 2, prove it. Every single day, you're going to consciously take actions that serve as evidence for that new identity, and you're going to write them down. You are literally gathering new data for your brain. And step 3, analyze it. Look at your evidence, see where the gaps are, and tweak your plan. Now, the reason this simple journal is so incredibly powerful is because it hijacks the brain's own predictive system. See, your brain follows a very simple rule. Your actions tell it who you are. Whatever you do again and again and again, that's who it predicts you're going to be tomorrow. Your actions are the code that rewrites your identity. And this all points to a way more powerful definition of what it means to be intelligent. It's not about your IQ score. True intelligence is adaptation. Think about this. Billions of years ago, life on Earth was almost totally wiped out by a poison called oxygen. But the organisms that survived didn't just fight it, they evolved to use that poison as an incredible new source of energy. That is the power of adaptation. And you have that exact same power. You can stay in that level 4 illusion, running on the old autopilot software of your past identity, or you can start feeding your brain new data, new evidence, and become the architect of your own reality. So, I'll leave you with this final question. What illusion are you going to rewrite first?